Hi everyone, you're welcome to today's class. Alright, without wasting our time, we'll be looking at the topic descriptive essay. I repeat, descriptive essay. Alright, descriptive essay is actually part of our continuous writing, which we all already know. Continuous writing, that is, it falls under the category of writing essays and all of that. Alright, descriptive essay, we'll be looking at descriptive essay, part of a descriptive essay, descriptive writing tips, and we'll take an assignment after the class. Alright, descriptive writing is a writing format in which the writer describes the topic in an ideal way so that the reader can easily picture and experience the scenario. I repeat, descriptive writing is a writing format in which the writer describes the topic in an ideal way so that the reader can easily picture and experience the scenario. In this, the writer briefs every detail to the reader and creates an interesting space through the minor details. Although dragging the same things won't make the article worth it. Instead, writers need to use a proper format and make the most sense out of their writing. Alright, when it comes to descriptive essay, we're literally looking at the aspects that deals with writing or describing things in details. That is, it is a type of writing in which the writer describes things in details. Now let's move to the parts of descriptive essay. Parts of descriptive essay. First one we have the introduction, the second one we have the body, the third one we have the conclusion. Now let's look at the 9 descriptive writing tips. That is, these are the tips that we needed to follow or we need to make use whenever we want to write a descriptive essay. So it will literally help us a lot when writing a descriptive essay. So they are basically just like our guidelines. So they are like guidelines for descriptive essay, which I would want you to listen and understand all these tips for a successful writer. All right, the first thing you're expected to do as a writer, as a good writer to be precise, you have to start with a strong opening that sets the scene and draws the reader in. Start with a strong opening that sets the scene and draws the reader in. This is basically talking about your introductory paragraph. Whenever you're writing, it is expected that you have a very good paragraph so as to entice the reader. So it goes a long way when you have a good opening. Are we together? Do we get that? So as a good writer, you have to start with a strong opening. That is, your introductory paragraph must be catchy. It must actually catch the attention of your readers or audience. It is very much important to take note of that. Secondly, you are to use sensory details to create a vivid picture in the reader's mind. You are to use sensory details to create a vivid picture in the reader's mind. Describe what can be seen, heard, smelled, tasted, and felt. When we talk about sensory details, we're literally looking at our five sense organs, which they've taught us in our primary school, that is our elementary school. They taught us our five sense organs, which are the eyes for seeing, the ear for hearing, smelling, that is for nose, the tasting, that is the tongue, and skin to feel. So whenever you're writing, particularly a descriptive essay, you are expected to describe using the sensory details so as to give a clear understanding or a clear picture in the reader's mind. So it is very much important to use sensory details to create a vivid picture when writing a descriptive essay. All right, the next one is show, don't tell. All right, this one is basically talking about the fact that instead of simply stating how a character feels or what is happening, you're expected to use actions and dialogue to convey the information. That is, whenever you're writing a descriptive essay, it is expected of you to use actions and dialogue. Like there is this saying that goes those action speaks louder than voice. So you're expected to use actions and dialogue to convey or to pass across your messages to the readers and audience. All right, the next one is you are to use figurative language such as similes and metaphors to add depth and complexity to your description. When we talk about figurative language, we're literally talking about figures of speech. That is where the figures of speech comes in. And when it comes to figures of speech, we're looking at simile, metaphor, personification, irony, hyperbole, and so on and so forth. So whenever you're writing, you're expected to use figurative language such as what? Simile, metaphor, and so on and so forth, so as to add depth, that is in-depth, and complexity to your description. So it also helps a lot when it comes to descriptive writing. All right, the next one is to vary your sentence structure to keep the reader engaged. Use short, punchy sentences for emphasis and longer, more complex sentences to add details and nuance. So this one is actually talking about the fact that your sentence should be short and precise. It should be short and precise. That is, the reader should be able to get or understand whatever you're writing. Do we get that? Are we together? That is, you should be brief with your writing, and also at the same time it should be straightforward. That is where clarity comes in. When you write, it shouldn't be difficult for people to understand. All right, the next thing to do is to use transitions to move smoothly from one idea or scene to the next. I repeat, use transitions to move smoothly from one idea or scene to the next. When we talk about transitions, we're literally talking about words like additionally, furthermore, moreover, in addition, also, likewise, and similarly. All of these words will make your words move smoothly. So it helps your words move from one scene or ideal to the next. So it is expected of you as a good writer to always use transitions word when writing. Also, you have to develop your characters through their actions, thoughts, and dialogue rather than simply describing them. That is, when writing, you're expected to develop your characters through their actions and also through their thoughts rather than simply describing them. In addition, you have to use dialogue, including internal dialogue, to review character and advance the plot. When we talk about dialogue, we're literally talking about conversation. So you're expected to use dialogue, including internal dialogue, to review character and advance the plot of your write-up. So it is very much important. Finally, you have to end with a satisfying conclusion that ties up loose ends and leaves the reader with a sense of closure. So this is actually talking about your concluding paragraph. Are we together? So you're expected to end with a satisfying conclusion that ties up loose ends and leave the reader with a sense of closure. Now we've come to the end of today's class. I believe you understood one or two things and you've learned a whole lot of things today. All right, the assignment, you have to write a descriptive essay on any of this topic. One, a memorable place. It could be a childhood home, a favorite vacation spot, or thereabout. So just write a descriptive essay on any of this topic. Thanks for your attention. Do have a lovely day. And please, if there is any question, do well to send it to my mail, abiodun.afolalu at greenlandall.org. I repeat, abiodun.afolalu at greenland.org. Bye for now.